Okay, Jonathan, could you kind of give us an update on what's taking place right now? Pretty unusual.
It's somewhat unusual. There's been an issue raised as to whether Mr. Spooner is now competent to proceed with the trial. And obviously, that's something very important that they want to make sure to ensure that his rights are protected. And so now there has been a question as to whether the case can proceed and whether they need to have and whether they can have a competency evaluation done yet today. Until that evaluation is done, it would appear that the trial will stop. And now the question will be when and if, and then what the results of that competency hearing might result in. If he's found to be competent, then the case would proceed, and now we have some scheduling issues with some of the doctors that are scheduled to testify. If he would be found to be incompetent, then technically it would appear the trial would stop, and it would have to be a later determination as to whether he regained his competency so that the case could proceed in the second phase of the trial.
And John, I'm confused. So today, if he were to be found to be incompetent today, what impact would that have? I mean, does that mean he was competent yesterday or the last 3 or 4 days? Could that have an impact on the trial and the verdict?
Yeah, potentially. If there was an argument to be made that he was also incompetent before today, it could raise issues as to whether or not there was a valid verdict in this case on the criminal first phase of this trial. I don't know if that's an issue that has or might be raised, but that would certainly be a concern, certainly for the district attorney's office, because they would have to ensure and they want to avoid any type of mistrials or appeals to make sure that he was competent throughout at least the criminal first phase of this trial.
From what you saw, it seemed like he wanted to make a statement and his lawyer didn't. Does it take more than that to not be competent?
Again, that's going to be the psychiatric evaluation that's going to be done to make a determination as to whether he is indeed competent. It would appear that he wanted to make a statement, and there was some issues with him and his attorneys potentially as to what advice they were giving him and whether he was following that. It is his decision to make, but he's not allowed just to make a statement. If he's going to testify, then he's going to be subject to cross-examination, which it would appear that his attorneys were advising him not to do.